Awesome. Mission accomplished. Big time duplicatable. And which I love everything I strive to do in my career. I always thought, okay, what I'm about to do, is it something that only I can do, or is it something that is duplicatable? I wanted everything to be duplicatable because my dream was to create. Hang on, let me cut these things off. My dream was to create an organization because what changed my life was when somebody taught me about the two different incomes. Okay. Listen. People are always trying to recruit you into their deal. People are always trying to get you in this network marketing thing and selling their product, and they're the greatest in the world, and this is going to change your life. But what changed my life was when somebody educated me on, hey, so there's two types of income. One is self-driven, and if you choose self-driven income, it's fine. You just have to know that self-driven income is always going to be driven by you until you get out of it. Okay, so most people, they go into careers just because we've been taught how to go to school, get a good education, get out, get a good job, right? So we go do that. So we're driven into all types of self-driven income. Okay. Some of us grew up. I know I grew up in a family. My family wanted me to be a dentist. I know it's crazy, but my granddad, who I was actually named after, who's my hero in life, was a dentist. And but I just remember it terrified me because I would actually go up to his office with him late at night when he had emergencies, and I would watch him work on people's teeth. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't have any interest at all. And so it kind of scared me because I'm like, wow, they want me to do, I don't want to do that. So I don't know what age I actually said, hey, I'm not going to be, I don't want to be a dentist. Okay. I either wanted to be a football player, basketball player, baseball player, depending on what season it was in. But we're driven. So my dream of creating Cornerstone was not all this crap that you see on social media. My dream was to educate people who didn't want to be broke. Like we're driven into self-driven incomes, whether it's to go work a job or to open up our own self-employed business, doctor, lawyer, dentist, owner, restaurant, whatever that may be. And so what we don't know is what we're choosing to be broke. We're choosing to either be broke on money or broke on time. Most business owners operate at revenue neutral. Most business owners operate, when it boils down to it, revenue neutral for a long time. Okay. And then, if they last 10 years, you can get to the point where you can make money, but it's a struggle, man. And it's something that you're always driving. Nobody washes a rental car. So your hope of finding employees that will actually treat your business like it's their business, good luck to that. I don't care how much you pay them. If they don't own it, they don't own it. So my dream of Cornerstone was to teach people about system-driven income. Okay, so you can invest money or you can invest time. You can invest money to create system-driven income, or you can invest time. I didn't learn about investing money because I didn't have any. But what I did have was I had 24 hours a day, and so I had time. And so I learned how to invest my time and to create distribution. I learned how to branch out, put people in their own business. I helped coach them best I could. And what I found through the years, the best way to coach people is to set an example. The worst way of coaching people is to try to do everything for them. I've done that. I still do that. My default is because I love people so much, I still find myself telling new people that I'm going to do things for them that I go, I will do them. Like I'll buy leads for you if you need me to buy leads for you, but that's only going to make you weak. I know it preaches good, and sometimes people need a little bit of help. But really, every time I buy leads for somebody, all I'm doing is making them weaker. Go figure out how to buy your own leads. It doesn't cost that much. It doesn't cost that much. The only thing that you need to figure out how to buy leads is desire. You don't need anything else. If you can't figure out in this day and age, in our country, if you live in the United States of America, if you're plugging into this call, okay, I'm not interviewing people from Afghanistan. Not have anything against Afghanistan, but Casey, you're on the same hiring link I'm on, so we do get those. I had somebody set up an interview the other day. I have no idea where they're from, but I don't hire those people. Okay. I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole. I need to quickly get out of it because this is not my topic today. Casey, getting back on topic. My whole thing is duplication. And what I love about what you're doing with the Ethos leads is you're investing $500 a week and you're creating somewhere around $5,000 in revenue. What we say in Eastern North Carolina, which is where I'm from, not where I am right now, what we say in Eastern North Carolina is that dog will hunt. That'll work. 500 for 5,000, that'll work. You can build an empire on that. Okay. So, Casey, you're running the Ethos virtual office. I think it opens up tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Central time, which is where you are. So do you want to give a quick commercial to everybody who maybe want to plug in and learn what you're doing with the specific lead type called Ethos?
There you go. We had technical on my end too, so not your fault. Anyway, yeah, we're excited about the virtual office. I what I'm excited about is it's a place where people can come and really hone their own skill because we all have different personalities. We don't have a script here. We're connecting with people and pivoting according to their need. So we all know these people that are the ethos abandoned cart lead are people who are ready to buy insurance. So all we're trying to do is make a quick connection with them, let them know that we're a trusted advisor and we're a licensed agent and we're having those conversations and we're really the hardest part is catching them at a place to where they're ready to move forward, and sometimes that takes a few calls, but
Yeah.
that's what we're going to use our time for. And the thing I will say again and again is um, this is one of those participation type sports where you have to, and I made a few notes here. Yeah, so the way to learn this skill set is through repetition. You have to pick up the phone and dial. No amount of listening will help you overcome the fear, awkwardness of making the dials and talking to people. And I think that's goes back to what a lot of us feel but don't say, especially when we first start, is the success we're looking for is in the work we're avoiding. This is not like digging ditches, but repetition does help. And
Yeah.
that's what this virtual office is about, is getting in there and getting your reps and making a mess. And because there's nothing you can break, just go in there and make connections. That's where your money is going to be made, and where these people are going to get help is by you honing your phone skills and your people skills. And you don't need to be me, and I don't need to be you, but we can all be the best version of ourselves and connect with these people. And I look forward to anybody that wants to come on, work on camera and buy your leads, just like what you said, because then you're invested.
Yeah.
There's that unknown thing in your head. If I go buy a set of golf clubs or if you give me a brand new set of golf clubs, I might leave them in the trunk. But if I spent 2 grand on my golf clubs, I'm cleaning them up, I'm putting them in the garage and locking it.
Yeah.
It means something to me.
Yeah.
It, so these leads are important. You don't, I mean, but they're 5, 6, 7 bucks, whatever they are. If you get on a subscribe and save, they're even cheaper. And so get them coming to you every day. You can do that through the leads department. Just tell them that you want to subscribe and save. And that way you're committed. You're like, well, I got leads because you're waking up to them. And
Yeah.
so when it's time to dial, you get on there and start calling them and call them 2 or 3. Anyway, the virtual office will be a community for those people who want to work. And I look forward to seeing anybody who wants to do it.
Gotcha. And you've got a counterpart out there. You've got a running buddy, Claudia
Yeah.
Matthew. Let me see if
Yeah.
Claudia's on out there. Let me see. Hey, Claudia.
Hey, John.
Hey,
Happy
good
New
morning to
Year.
you. So I know we had talked a couple of weeks ago. It was your desire to create kind of your own virtual office platform, and you were raised in the mortgage protection market, and so you were like, John, dadgummit, I'm getting back into the mortgage protection market, and so are you going to be having kind of a virtual office set up like that going into 2026?
Absolutely, John. So basically, like I mentioned to you, I just want to go back and do what I know what I can do, right? And I had a lot of success with the mortgage protection, and I just want to get out there again and just recreate what many of us had created in the past. So yeah, so we normally get in the office at 9 a.m. As soon as I get the kids out of the bus, I get in the office 9 a.m. because if we are going to wait to start dialing after the 10 a.m. call, we're behind, right? So we got to start early. So normally we'll be there between 9 and 12, 9 and 1, and then take a little break and come back again at 5. And I normally run appointments. My last appointment is normally 9:30 p.m. Eastern time zone. So, if we have appointment 9:30, we're going to be there. If I'm running mountain time zone 11:30 we have appointment, we're going to be there. So it's just basically, what we want is the same thing as Casey. Come ready to work. Participation, you don't get a trophy in here for participation, right? And the reality in here is we want to celebrate you winning.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to be cheering on us, because we're out here fighting for our family and our dreams and our goals. So we want you to come in ready and just listen to some of us dialing, dial, let us help you. Nobody in here is going to make you feel ashamed or embarrassed. Like, we're here to guide you with love. So just come ready to make sure that you are listening to us dialing, run appointments live if you wanted, watch us running appointment. But I am going to be like, talking to you, John, and talking to the leaders. If we see somebody showing up every day and not putting in the work, we don't want you to do that, because we have those agents that come to every conference every single year. And they just get excited for that. Like in here, we want you to get excited to providing for your family. That's basically what it is.
Amen.
And it's basically Monday through Thursday. My schedule is normally Monday to Wednesday. I want to reach my goal by Monday to Wednesday. Thursday is a catch-up day for this week, or start ready working hard for next week, right? But Monday through Thursday, we're going to be there, take a little break in the afternoon, and then come back 5 o'clock on, 4 or 5 o'clock on is a time to run appointments.
Gotcha. Love it. So, my mindset, as this is a leaders call, and by the way, just welcome to everybody that's plugging in. We do this on Friday mornings. Typically, we do it about 9 o'clock because Barry Clarkson does his leadership call at 10 o'clock on the Gold Standard Leadership Call Fridays. So we do this 9 o'clock. And here's the thing. I'm going to open this up for people that want to plug in. And typically what the format is, I know I've got a little something planned today, but typically the format is we're just kind of doing a round robin. And our leaders, we want them to be transparent. What are they seeing? What are they experiencing? What are some things that we need to discuss that's going to help make us better? And I will tell you what, the people that plug in every single Friday, Claudia, Casey, Lisa, Rob, Floyd. Like it's just really been awesome to learn from them and see how they're leading. And I will tell you, every single leader over the last couple of weeks has either sent me something personally or shared it on our leaders thread. They're ready to step up big time in 2026. I know Casey put something on our thread yesterday. It was do or die for him, and I'll just tell you guys, it's from my standpoint, it's definitely do or die, right? I mean, we chose to sell our business. Even though our desire is to manage our business, my desire is to manage my business all the way. I feel like I can go strong up to my mid 70s. I just turned 58. So I have a lot of years that I want to pour in. I will tell you guys that over the last couple of weeks, one of the things that I've done is I've tried to encourage our people to really, don't wait to January 1st. I really start encouraging everybody 1st of December to really treat that season as New Year's, right? Like don't wait. I know that we've got the Christmas season, the holiday season, and all that coming up. I know there's just so many distractions that can take place. But as I've challenged myself to actually do that, I was forced with asking myself, hey, what do I feel like my calling is? What do I feel like my purpose is? Like, I love selling life insurance. I mean, that's been the love of my life, really. And I didn't even know about it really until 2016. When I was forced to go out and sell in 2016, because, you guys know my story. Our income had gotten down to a certain point where, it was do or die for me then. And I went out on my own pen. And I said, I'm going to go get my family to safe ground. I did it with mortgage protection. And the thing is I found out I loved it. I loved the sales process. I loved it so much that, like, Barry Clarkson jokingly says, and it's not really a joke, but Barry was like, I didn't know if I was ever going to get John out of the field. Like I didn't have any desire to get out of the field. My goal of growing Cornerstone was still there. It's just, at that season of my life, I had to bury that seed. As emotional as it is for me to talk about, because it was a dream that I actually, was aware of at 25 years of age, all the way back in 1993. And so that season, I had to take that dream of spending most of my time growing Cornerstone I had to bury that at the foot of the cross. And I had to go get my family to safe ground. And I did that through personal sales. And again, what I found out was I loved it. I loved being with people. And I loved praying with my families. I loved having conversation. The thing I love about the sales process here is that I really feel like I get in the sweet spot of sales when I'm really having conversations with my clients that go deeper than a mud puddle, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that term. It's like, most people's conversations with their so-called friends never go deeper than a mud puddle. And but I love going deeper. I love talking to my clients about what really matters. And so I just love that. And so I know that I'm being judged, by Integrity Marketing Group. I'm being judged by my numbers. Okay. And where I think hopefully a few of you would stand up and go, John and Kim Kite, they're awesome. We want to be with them forever. We would hope that some of y'all would feel that way, but really, when Integrity Marketing Group's looking at our numbers, we haven't been very good, and I totally get it. And so we're putting everything on the line. We want to stay managing partners. We want to continue to manage Cornerstone, and so we're going all in to really watch God work to make that happen. So it is do or die at a little bit different level for John and Kim Kite. So I say that to say anything at all that any of y'all need, I'm here. You know, my dream going into 2026 is to have different cornerstone virtual offices. So we've got the Ethos virtual office. We've got the mortgage protection virtual office. Now, here's the thing. We may have other people step up and say, hey, I'm going to create my own virtual office. I'm going to be working Ethos leads. I'm going to be working, let me see, maybe somebody, whoever's unmuted, maybe mute yourself back out. That'd be awesome. So I don't want just a few virtual offices. I'd love to have several. I'd love to have 5 or 6 or 7 Ethos virtual offices. I'd love to have 5, 6, or 7 mortgage protection virtual offices. But I'm also very interested in creating a B quadrant virtual office. And so as you guys know, on Tuesday nights, Equus Financial has invited me to actually do an opportunity overview every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I do it live. I do it right here, like sitting right. And so the last couple of weeks, I've really loved it because they're creating guests to join me. And so I do the opportunity overview, and then I get to interview my guest. And, you know, we had Lincoln Anderson on. We had Deanna Cooper. That was massive. This coming Tuesday night, I've got Nicole Hansen that's going to actually be joining me. And so I'd really like to create a B quadrant virtual office. And so what I mean by that is I'd love to be able to help you grow your team. I can do overviews. I can share the opportunity, but I really need for a lot of you guys to understand, hey, plug in and utilize Tuesday nights. But then throughout the week, I can set up as we need it. And I will look to you guys, especially you leaders, to let me know what we need. But I can do group follow-ups. I can do like you may say Tuesday night at 8 o'clock does not work well for my warm market or my clients. Can we do a Thursday morning 10 o'clock? Whatever. Okay. Yes, the answer to that is yes. We can do a lot of different things, but that'll kind of flow into a agency builders virtual office for those people that want to watch me do interviews, for those people that maybe want to watch me talk to people about our opportunity. So I'd also love, I'm just going to toss this out there. I'd love to create an advanced markets virtual office. Man, how many of you guys would love to see, as much as he can share, how many of you guys would love to see Patrick DeLorenzo doing debt elimination? I think we've got other advanced market specialists who would be awesome at creating a virtual office. And so that's just kind of my mindset and my goal going into 2026. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause. Any of the leaders out there, do you guys have anything that you want to share? You can raise your hand. Just let me know anything that you feel like needs to be covered. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of launch in and close on. I'm not able to see everybody. I'm going to just go through here. Okay, I don't think anybody's raised their hand. If there's anything that you feel like you want to cover, just shoot me a text, and we'll do that by the time we jump off. Okay. So as advertised, I do want to share with you, and I was actually telling my daughter-in-law this morning, I was like, I hope you're able to listen in today. Because this is everything I believe in. This is when you look at my culture and who I am and my family's culture and the culture that I want to be cornerstone, this is my heart. So I'm going to share my heart because it's all about success and achievement. Okay, it kind of all flows into the message that I want to share with you guys as you're celebrating your 2026, your new year. You're creating these things called New Year's resolutions or these goals, things like that. So I just want to share with you, and I'm going to tell you, this comes from many years of reading books about this topic. Okay. Master Key to Riches is one of my favorites. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker. Think and Grow Rich certainly is going to play a factor in this message. And so as much as I've adopted throughout the years, and this goes back to 1993. That's a long time. We're in 2026. Okay. So this is information that has really made me. And so as I share it with you, I'm not sharing theory. I'm sharing information that really has made me into a 100% different person than I was when I started. If I listen carefully, I can probably hear Kim Kite from somewhere in the world say amen to that. So congratulations, you kicked off your new year. Hopefully you were able to be around friends and family, fireworks. Some of you guys kicked off your new year like I did, maybe about 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then you had enough, right? So as I launch into my best information on how you can actually hit the target and succeed in your New Year's resolutions, your goals, this is where I want to start, okay? My desire, if I can be so bold as to even consider myself one of your coaches or one of your mentors, my desire is to just simply help you be your best, okay? My whole thing, and this will really let you know a lot about me and what my real desires, no deceit, no deception. My real desire is that I just want people to become exactly who God made them to become. Okay, my whole goal is for you to become who you were created to be. Now, what I know is that I deal with a lot of years of pain and suffering. I deal with a lot of your life that you've actually been conditioned to think wrongly about yourself. You've actually had experiences in your life that has not been good, or maybe they've been fantastic, but you've not been able to look at them correctly through the right lens. Therefore, your perception of what's happened in your life, good or bad, has created in you a lower self-image. Okay. I do believe that everybody's life, everybody's success eventually rises and or falls on their self-image. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with today. And my whole desire in everything that I am, with me, with my marriage, with my family, with my friends, my whole desire is to simply help people discover who they really are through the eyes of their creator. Okay, so as spiritual as I'm going to get with you today is, I don't believe that you came from a monkey. I don't believe that your ancestors swung from tree to tree and then they all of a sudden they got their tail stuck in the middle fork of a tree and the tail popped off and you went out and you've been walking talk. I don't believe that. Okay, I don't believe that. I don't believe that your ancestors were amoebas. Okay, I believe that you were created very specifically for a purpose. I believe that you've been endowed with certain talents that go along with your purpose, with why you were created. But I do know that the creator that created you, number one, what he had in mind when he created you was fellowship. And so if you ever look for the number one reason why you were created and why you have life, why you're able to look in the mirror and see what you think is you, and the very reason you're here, number one, is that relationship. So as spiritual as I'm going to get with you today is I want you to deal with that. Whatever that leads you to, let it lead you to it. But I don't, religion, all that stuff. I don't care about that. All I care about is your relationship with your creator, because I think personally, I think that your whole self-image and everything that's happened in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, I think you'll gain clarity and you'll gain the correct self-image from that relationship. Okay. Now, as we go in more into the business segment, let me say what I just said in a little different way. I believe that association, who you choose to spend your time with, how you choose to start your day, I believe that the things that you allow your eyes to see, your ears to hear, I believe that's the most powerful force in the universe. Okay, so you will become just like who you choose to associate with. So be very careful what you allow your eyes to see and ears to hear. Association, being that it's the most powerful force in the universe, it is the thermostat to your life. It sets the tone for your life, and it helps us to maintain focus of thought. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. That's a huge thing. If you want to underline it, focus of thought. Focus of thought. Okay. So to be your best and to bring out your best, I want you to show up. I want you to wake up and show up. I want you to be on time, and I want you to be on camera. Okay. So for those of you guys, you're plugging in, you're not on camera. Listen, figure out how to make our conference calls and the gold standard coaching call at 10 o'clock every single day. Figure out how to make that a non-negotiable, and figure out how to present yourself as a successful person, because you're choosing to be, and figure out how to be present, be on camera, and actively listen. Okay. Number two. Okay. Number one was your best. Number two is achievement. The next 12 months, when you say 12 months or 365 days, it sounds like a long time, but we've got 4 quarters and we've got 4 seasons. It goes by pretty quick. I think human nature, I think most of us underestimate what we can, I think most of us overestimate what we can accomplish in 3 months. Okay, I think some of you guys, you've probably got some pretty stout goals set, and you're probably setting yourself up for massive failure, which, hey, there's a whole strategy to that. So I'm not telling you not to do that. But I think a lot of people overestimate what they can accomplish in 3 weeks or 3 months, but they grossly underestimate what they can accomplish in 3 years. Long-term thinking wins the game. Okay. Our life is not a game, but if you want to look at it as a game, okay, if I can in context refer to our life and our business and our marriages, our all of the stuff that matters to us, if I can refer to it as a game, okay, long-term thinking wins the game. Short-term thinking, not short-term strategy, short-term thinking sets you up for all kinds of deception. Long-term thinking wins the game. Your life changes. They say that, that there's a time everybody's born. Okay. And there's a time everybody dies. Okay. But what makes the difference is the day that you figure out why you were born. Okay. The day you gain that clarity, that's the day that your life pretty much starts. Don't tell me when somebody was born and when they die. Tell me what did somebody do in that span of time that you figured out why you were created? Big commitment, the big commitment, that's the day that you decide that I'm going to do this no matter how long it takes because it's worth it. Do you know what I just said right there? What I just said was your purpose, the why you were created, your calling. The only way you're going to make that big commitment, and for me, it was what I just talked about a while ago. It was teaching people how not to be broke. I hated being broke on money, but you know what I hated even more? I hated being broke on time. I hated somebody having their thumb on my life called W-2 job or my own business that made me always be driving my income. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to wake up and go, hey, what do I want to do today? Do I want to go take a walk on the beach? What do I want? I wanted to be free. I didn't want every single activity I did in a day to be dictated by a stupid green dollar bill. Okay, they say that the truth is money's not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, and the thing about it is that people that have a lot of money, most people that have a lot of money, they're very good people, and because they've got an abundance of money, they're able to look at money correctly. Now, I do know that there's a lot of people with a lot of money that are very narcissistic, and man, it's anything but. But I will tell you, the love of money being the root of all evil, I don't know the last time I heard of a wealthy person robbing a 7-Eleven. Okay, so a lot of times our lack of money and the thoughts that leads us to can be a root of all evil. Okay, so the decision for your big commitment, okay, it's just a point in time in your life where you go, thank you, Lord, for creating me. Thank you for giving me desires to go down a certain path. I believe this is what I'm called to do. I love helping people. I love making a difference in people's life. And so right now in my business, in the scene, I'm not really successful. I haven't really done a lot. Okay. My numbers suck, right? But no matter how long it takes, I'm going to succeed. No matter how long it takes, this one thing I'm going to do. No matter how long it takes me, I'll figure it out. Because ultimately the success is me becoming who I was created to be, and that's worth everything. So that's people making the big commitment, is that I'm home, I'm here, this is what I've been called to do, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on the road to accomplishing that. Desire, this is number 3, desire is the driver to all success and achievement. Desire is the very seed. The harvest of desire is what people really call success. It's the outward manifestation that people call, well, that guy's successful. He's making a lot of money. He has this or he has that, or nice cars or watches or whatever it is. It's like, the outward. Okay, the seed was desire. Okay, the seed was desire. Strict self-discipline comes from a burning desire. So the thing that I hope every single person has today is massive desire to do what you're doing. Here's the thing. It can be desire. Some of you guys, you want lifestyle, man. You want a big house. You want nice cars. You want nice clothes. You want to be able to wear a suit in Orlando, Florida coming up. You want to be able to wear a suit that's tailor-made for you that costs $3,000 or $4,000. I get it. And here's the thing. That's awesome. See, some of you out there, you go, ooh, that's materialistic. Hey, whatever drives you. I remember back in my early days and back when I was young, I remember putting a picture of a white Mercedes on the front of my refrigerator. Man, that drove me for a while until I got it. And once I got it, that was sweet. For about 3 months, man, every time I sat on the leather of that Mercedes, it was awesome. So whatever it is that's motivating you right now, fantastic. But here's the thing. I will tell you, desires change. Motivation changes. But all of it is for good. So if you have somebody and their motivations right now are absolutely 1,000 ego-driven, materialistic, don't try to change that. That's part of their growth process. Maybe your desire is to stockpile a bunch of money in your bank account. Fantastic. Fantastic. I can't wait till you get so much money in there that all of a sudden your creator starts changing your heart to start to be a giver. Now life's going to get fun. Now you're going to go from success to significance. And I will tell you, that's the path for all of us. That's the path for all of us. Some of you guys, you're already there. Some of you guys, you've experienced a lot of success and you know, hey, that's not what really does it for me. And so I'm going to go from success to significance. I'm going to go from what I get to what I give. Okay, so strict self-discipline comes from a burning desire. Singleness of purpose is the common denominator of the life driven by a burning desire. Singleness of purpose is the common denominator of the life driven by a burning desire. Self-discipline is thought, not action. Okay, I remember learning that in Master Key to Riches, and it changed my life. Every time I knew that self-discipline was the master key to all riches. But every time I thought about self-discipline, I just thought about my actions. Like, oh man, I'm messing up on that. My New Year's resolution was to go to the gym, and I went for 2 weeks, and now I hadn't been for 3 weeks, right? Like I always look. But the very moment I learned that the whole secret to it all, the whole secret to the attraction factor, the whole secret to Master Key to Riches, the whole secret to Think and Grow Rich, the whole secret to the manifestation of success was the understanding that self-discipline is self-discipline of thought, not action. The very moment you learn how to discipline your thoughts, you change the words that come out of your mouth, and the self-discipline of thought always leads to different action. So you can point to somebody and you can go, wow, look at the action they're taking. Look at that, man, they're so disciplined. But what they're not seeing is that their discipline starts with the discipline of thought. They're not focused on going to the gym every day. They're focused on retraining, renewing their mind by repeating affirmations, writing down, I want to lose 20, 25 pounds, 15 pounds, 10 pounds. I want to get in shape. I'm going to change the vision of myself. This is how I now see me. I see me as being in shape. I see me as being successful. I see me as having a large team. And so now I'm going to speak because I'm strictly disciplining my thoughts. I'm going to speak. Speaking is simply vibration that comes out of my mouth. But the power of your words, okay, the power of your words is that when you speak out of your mouth, you hear yourself through your inner ear, not your outer ear. See, I'm speaking to y'all right now. Y'all hear me through your outer ear, but I hear myself through my inner ear. Let me prove my point. Okay. And I've done this talk millions of times, but it's that you need to understand this. Do y'all remember the first time you ever heard yourself tape recorded? Everybody says the exact same thing. Do you know what you said the first time you ever heard yourself tape recorded? You said something to the effect of, is that me? That's not me. That doesn't sound like me, because that was the first time you ever heard your voice through your outer ear. You hear yourself. So the reason the power of life and death is in your tongue is because what you speak out of your mouth, you hear through your inner ear, and what you hear through your inner ear allows you to shape pictures in your mind. I'm not going to get into this topic this morning, but it's very powerful when talked about correctly, and that's the power of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, which is very kin to your self-image. Okay, so I was teaching you something there that it was inadvertently. Okay, so your subconscious mind drives everything in your life. Your subconscious mind is the attraction factor to your life. Now, as kooky as some people make your subconscious mind, as kooky as some people teach the attraction factor, I will tell you it's very real. And the Apostle Paul teaches it in Philippians when he says, think on these things. Think on these things. Think on these things. Strict self-discipline of thought. Think on these things. Think on these things. What does he mean by that? He means think on these things. Decide that you're going to think on these things and don't think about all the other crap. Because that's what it is. So the whole power in you making sure that you succeed in your New Year's resolutions is, number one, write down what you want. Number two, turn it into affirmations. Number three, start to use your words to help your self-discipline of thought. Decide that you're going to think on these things, okay? If your whole goal is your health, you want to absolutely dominate your thoughts. How do you dominate your thoughts? You can't think about something while you're speaking something. I can even have you do this exercise, okay? I can even tell you, say a certain thing, and then you say it out loud with emotion, and I'm like, what were you thinking about when I was thinking about what I was saying? Exactly. So when I have negative thoughts that come into my brain, all of a sudden when fear grips me, because I know my numbers have sucked and I know integrity's looking at me like, hey, you're not managing your business very well. Somebody else may manage that better than you do. Every time fear comes in, I have to speak to that. I have to speak out loud because I have to direct my thoughts. I have to discipline my thoughts, because if I entertain negative thoughts too long, it defeats my outer activity. And therein is the whole secret to how you either succeed. Self-discipline of thought always produces the right action. As I renew my mind to my health and my fitness, all of a sudden going to the gym, making my gym time non-negotiable, doing whatever the activity is. If my whole goal is success and building a team, or success in my personal production, I'm going to dominate my thoughts with personal production or building a team. And as I renew my mind, transformation happens. How does transformation happen? Because I changed the pictures of my mind, and through strict self-discipline of thought, I'm only thinking on these things that lend to the new pictures of my mind. Therefore, my body, my activity follows suit. My activity is a byproduct of thought process. That's why I hate these narcissistic managers in life insurance and really anything. And all they're doing is they're berating you because you're not taking the right action. They're berating you because you're not working hard enough. And what, man, what I think is hey, that you're dealing with behavior. You're dealing with behavior. Why don't you find out the thought process or the self-image behind that behavior? See, if I can deal with your self-image and your thought process that's creating the unwanted behaviors, then I can change your behavior. But if I'm just the parent that says, stop crying, sit up, shut up, stop crying. Okay, well, through fear, my kid may sit up, shut up, and stop crying. But I'll have to do that again and again. I'd much rather deal with the thought process behind why the kid's acting the way they're acting. Okay, that's kind of getting off on it. Okay, this is important as I close, and then any of the leaders out there, if you have any comments, I want to hear them. Create. Okay, what we're talking about here is creating. We're creating different circumstances. Okay, this is good news because what you were called to do is to create. You've been given a brain, you've been given a conscious and a subconscious part of your brain, and you've been given the ability to speak, grunting, vibration that's coming out of your mouth and going into you. You've been given up here. You've been given everything that you need. Down here, you don't need anything. Up here, you've been given everything, the ability to create and to manifest and to change things from the unseen to the seen. You've been given up here, okay, this is your heart. This is not your heart. This is just the thing that pumps blood. This is your heart. Okay, you're in your heart, the issues of life. Everything up here, you've been given the ability to create. You've been given the ability to change your circumstances. You've been given the ability to grow. You've been given the ability to think. So create because you were made in the image of the Creator. How did the Creator create? He spoke. He said, light be, and light was. And his words of light be is still echoing through the universe. So what you say matters so much. Be very careful of the words that you speak. Be very careful of the words, the seeds that you sow in your life. And get to the point where you're fanatical about never speaking anything. Don't speak negative words over people. Don't speak negative words over your team. Don't speak negative words over your spouse. Don't speak negative words over yourself. Your achievement, listen to this now. All we've talked about today is success and achievement, right? Your achievement is not your identity. Your achievement and your success is never going to amount to anything that matters to you in your life. It's not fulfilling. It's important because of what you've done with the talents that you've been given. It's just not what if people think that, oh, I'm going to achieve and I'm going to succeed and it's going to fulfill me. It never does. Okay. So it's very important that you understand that it's not the end result of the success or the achievement that you're going to be graded on. What you're going to be graded on and the things that matter at the end of the day, the things that matter to you in your life will be the faith that you operated on. And so I do want every single person sometimes this weekend, go read Hebrews chapter 11. We call that the Hall of Fame of Faith. Okay. But I want you to read that from a business perspective. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the things in your life that are going to matter are not going to be the things that you accumulate or the success or the achievement or the recognition. It's going to be the decisions that you made on total faith when the thing that God's given you is in the unseen and you moved on faith and the unseen manifested to the seen. So in the world that we live in, strive to put yourself not in the Hall of Fame of achievement, but strive to put yourself in the Hall of Fame of faith. Because I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, when you're giving your success talk, people aren't going to want to hear about all the stuff you have. People are not going to want to hear about your jet. People are not going to want to hear about your watch, your cars, your houses. They're not going to want to hear about it. You know what they're going to want to hear? They're going to want to hear about the decisions that you made when all of logic, when all of life was against that decision. Tell me about your decisions of faith. Tell me about your decisions to rely on him and his promises versus what you saw. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff that I want to sit down with a box of popcorn and I want to listen to you tell your story of faith. That's the exciting stuff. And at the end of the day, that's going to be what you're most proud of. It's going to be the actions that you took because of your belief in him. He's going to then act on your behalf, and it's all going to be for his glory. What a wonderful world you got to participate in. Feelings are a liar. As you get off this call and you go on to your new year and achieving your goals, most of the time you outside of external motivation, most of the time you really won't feel like taking action. Just know that that's going to be the battle, okay? But your feelings are a liar. The most incredible motivator in life is action. The more you take action, the more motivated you'll become. The more you take action, the bigger your belief will come. The more you take faith without action is dead. So I'll end with this. I've already said it, but the quality of your life will be judged based on your faith, not your achievements. Could your life, and maybe this is the reason you're on this call, could your life be telling based on faith? Could your life be telling a different story? Could your life be actually telling a better story? So my challenge to you as we go into 2026 is to come on, you're in knee-deep water, man. You're in knee-deep water. Come on out. Let's get out of the shallows. Let's get into the deep end. Let's actually get to where we've got to rely on him to act. And let's go have the time of our life. It'll feel like failure. It'll feel like massive failure. It'll feel like having to restart probably every day or two. But let's go have the time of our life, and let's actually go make a difference in a lot of people's lives out there through the products that we sell, through the opportunity that we have. So with that, thank you for listening to me. Leaders, anything at all anybody needs to shout out or not, all right, I'll see everybody Monday morning. God bless.